I want to welcome Agile XRM to the podcast. I've known the people at Agile XRM for the past 12 years. I've seen how their business process management tool can add massive value to complex organizational processes in sectors such as finance and government. If you have complex processes or a need for dialogues on the Power Platform or Dynamics 365, take a look at how this BPM tool can add value. You can find them at agilexrm.com or check out the show notes for more details. Welcome to the Power 365 show, where I interview staff at Microsoft across the Power Platform and Dynamics 365 technology stack. I hope you'll find this podcast educational and inspire you to do more with this great technology. Now, let's get on with the show. Today's guest is from Redmond, Washington in the United States. She works at Microsoft as a senior program manager. She's skilled in business intelligence, big data, machine learning, and insights. You can find links to her bio, social, etc. in the show notes for this episode. Welcome to the show, Tina.
Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me here.
Great to have you on the show. I always like to get to know guests and really let my listeners get to know guests before we start. So before we jump into work and technology and things like that, tell me a bit about food, family, and fun. What do they mean to you where you're located now?
Okay, cool. So my name is Tina Ding. I was originally from China. And now most of my family members are still in China. I relocated to Seattle area for Microsoft work in 2017, and then now live with my boyfriend in the Redmond area. And I kind of consider myself as like a international citizen. I like all kinds of food. Like Asian food is my favorite, still my favorite. Italian food, Mexican, India, some of the United States foods. And regarding to fun, I have a lot of hobbies. I love outdoor activities a lot. Like especially like hiking, swimming, snorkeling, yoga. And, this year I started falling in love with, go out boating with some of my friends. And I starting with learning the paddle boarding. It's so much fun in the lake, and especially in the Seattle area, it's so beautiful in the summer. We just spent 3 days in Olympic National Parks. I really love that. I like go to all kinds of national park. My favorite one is the Yellowstone National Park. And of course, Mount Rainier near us are beautiful too.
Yeah, very, very nice. I mean, Seattle, I've visited Seattle many, many times, and it is a beautiful city, and there's so many outdoor activities, of course, to do. It's really one of those perfect places in that respect. Tell me, before coming to, were you working for Microsoft in China before you moved to?
Yeah.
In Beijing office?
In Shanghai office. So I joined Microsoft in March 2012. All my career is in Microsoft. I started in Shanghai Microsoft and then relocated in 2017. It's a wonderful journey.
I worked on a project for Microsoft in Microsoft Beijing.
Oh, nice.
Maybe 2018 or 2018. So, I had to get a work visa and everything to work in there. I was only for a week. I was training Microsoft staff on Microsoft business applications at the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was it was when their new data center in China, which was called, I think, Mooncake?
Mooncake, yes. Yeah, it's for China Cloud.
Yes. Yeah. Very, very cool. Tell me, how did your career start? As in, how did your Microsoft career start? Were you in a technology area before? How did you get into Microsoft?
Yeah, so I would consider my whole career is in Microsoft. So I starting as a vendor, like work with Microsoft as a contract employee. Actually, I right after graduation, 2008. So I work about 3 to 4 years and then become a full-time employee. And it's all based on Shanghai, China. And I first worked as a software engineer in test back at that time, focused the majority on business intelligence, where I focus a lot of time, on the whole data engineering, the ETL process, the reporting or circle performance tuning and exactly. So I don't know if you remember in 2014, Microsoft starting combined engineering. So basically the combined SDET role with SD role. So at that point, I transferred as a program manager, but still focused on business intelligence area for a few years before I moved to Dynamics 365.
Wow. Okay. And so what area are you responsible? What area do you work in currently?
Oh, yeah. It's in 2019. I moved to Dynamics 365 and focused on customer service product. Yeah. And I have been in this team for about 4.5 years.
Wow. And so specifically, as we drill down a bit further in the customer service area, it's a big product, right? It's one of the key reasons why people buy Dynamics is because it's such a big product. What is your focus area?
Yeah. So with this 4 years in Dynamics 365, I mainly focus on the customer service product. First, for the first 2 years, I focused on the knowledge management, horizontal features across customer service. I think, Mark, you know about knowledge management, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So basically, it's try to maximize knowledge to improve agent productivity. And in the recent 2 years, after I focused on knowledge management and then moved to modernization of the administration experience, focus on admin persona for the past 2 years.
Excellent, excellent. So just when we look at admin modernization from a customer service perspective, what are the key building blocks that make up the admin part of customer service?
Yeah, if you think about the whole admin experience, right? What's the key task or key work? What admin do? The admin is mainly to specifically for a customer service admin. There are different persona. Even with admin role, the admin can have a different focus. That can be a tenant admin. Organization admin, and specifically for business admin, that can be customer service admin, even that can be they're focused on more sales side, sales app or marketing app. So the focus of what I'm working on is mainly on organization admin who need to set up a customer service product. So their day-to-day job is around, set up, the case management, knowledge management, the queues, routings, the different channels in customer service. That is the main focus of a customer admin. We have been, over the past 2 years, our team have made significant progress in improving the whole customer service experience, definitely including agent, supervisor, admin. And because I mainly focus on the admin side, so I would I would be happy to discuss about this more in details.
Yes. So if we look at the admin experience in the past, setting up, you talked about channels, for example, could be quite a long process, right? A lot had to be done. What are we seeing around improvements in things like, setting up voice channels, setting up chatbots, setting up even email routing for that matter? What are the improvements and the modernizations that are now hitting the admin center?
Wow, you ask the good questions that I really want to advocate for. So regarding to about the channel setup, we all know it's a little bit complex, right? Especially around the channel setup and around the routing. It's the most complex part in customer service setup. So we release a lot of features about the enhancement on that. And in the last release, we released a feature called one-click setup. Wow. What does this mean? Means admin just need to click once. It will help the new organization and a new customer to set up the default contact center with only one click. So it will automatically set up the voice channel, the chat channel, a default agent experience profile, and recommended AI features and reports. After the setup, it will landing on the hub and let you to try out on the different service. You also have options to customize on the settings by follow the power tools. So it's one click, okay? And we also give an option for you. For some of the admins, they want to handle by themselves. They want to get some guidance. They want to do a lot of customization by themselves. We have another feature called guided channel setup, which basically it's a guided step, which give you step-by-step instructor to tell you. For example, you ask about the email channel. Email channel is a little bit complex in customer service in Dynamics today. Is you need to set up a mailbox, share the mailbox. You need to, enable automatic record creation. So basically, with the guided channel setup, you have option to choose what channel you want to set up: email, chat, voice, even case, and exactor. You choose it. If you choose the email channel, it will show all the steps you need to do to set up an email channel. So it helps you basically this guided experience that help you to learn, especially for new customers who are not familiar with Dynamics, to learn about this product setup and got the instructions, getting familiar with the product setup, and definitely they got the options to automate the process for them to make things easier for them.
What about reporting? Is there a lot of reporting there as part of that as well, so that the admins can see, understand how things are performing?
Oh, yeah. So I think I forgot to answer your question about the bot side. Let me answer that first. Then we'll go to reporting.
Good.
So for the bot side, we just released a feature, and we release a Power Virtual Agent bot set up right in Customer Service Admin Center. Originally, you need to go to Power Virtual Agent portal. You need to do a handoff, called agent transfer to make it connect with the Dynamics 365 customer service environment. Now, what do you need to do? You only need to go to Customer Service Admin Center. You can create a bot easily in this single app, or you connect with the existing bot you already created. You just a couple of clicks, you have things done and connected with your CSE environment and be able to using in the chat channel or voice channel. All this step also are part of the guided channel setup tool to help you. When you set up a channel, you have an option to create a bot or connecting with a bot. So everything works makes things easier. And go back to your question regarding to reports. Yes, we do have, we have both the options for you to configure the reports for the supervisor. And you have options, for example, to configure the historical report and also the real-time reports for your supervisor to understand better of how agents' performance. And even in the admin side, admin have a report for voice minutes. Like, how much voice has been used, the phone call, voice, because that is how ACS, Azure Service was charging, right, regarding phone calls. So admin can see this voice minutes right in Customer Service Admin Center.
So let's talk about that piece of functionality. Are you saying within the admin center, I could even set up the phone numbers, or do I need to go first to do that in Azure and then connect when I do those voice channel connections? Do I then connect them only once they've been deployed in Azure? How does that functionality work?
Yeah, so you do, when you come to the voice channel setup, you do starting in Customer Service Admin Center. If you already have the voice ACS subscription set up, you can directly use it here. But if you don't have that, we do connect you to set that subscription and getting things ready. And for all of the new customers, they do have, the trial subscription to use, but they have limited minutes. for you to try out on the voice channel.
Okay, that's brilliant. Do you mention knowledge management to start with there? Is that a standard, once again, part of that one-click process, setting that up? And is it also that guided experience, like what knowledge needs to be set up? How does it map to either products or services? Is it ingested from another source? Is that all part of that experience?
Unfortunately, knowledge management today is not a part of the channel setup yet. So the Guided channel setup, we just released release web ago, like 1 year ago.
Yes.
And we want to see gathering the feedback from admin, what other features is the must have in the Guided channel setup. So the knowledge management setup is actually today not all of our customers are using our knowledge management.
Right.
But I want to mention in this new customer service admin center, we make things are super easier for each of the feature setup. There is a dedicated section called, if you go to the customer service admin center in the sitemap, you see knowledge management. And you click on that, you see all the setup, each section of the setup for the knowledge management. For example, you set up how you set up knowledge search filters. Even you want to connect into different data sources, for example, or you want to getting a search provider from, you want to connecting with the SharePoint data as a search provider, or you want to connect with another data sources. We design all of our admin feature in a guided experience.
Excellent.
Although it's not a part of the guided channel setup, but everything was designed in a guided kind of experience for people to easily understand and to do things step by step.
About a year ago, Microsoft announced the Digital Contact Center platform, which of course, DCCP heavily relies on Dynamics 365 customer service. Do you see, from what you're doing in the admin center, where do you see DCCP start and stop, and where does Dynamics 365 customer service start and stop? Or is it really, it's just all part of the building blocks that you can use for a modern digital contact center?
Yeah, I think this whole customer service admin center is dedicated for both. So this is for both. I think DCCP is the new name we announced for Dynamics Customer Service. They also have the RVR, they have Neurons part of that.
Yes.
So for things like Neurons, there's some of the setup still with the Neurons portal. And we do going to work on something like, how can we integrate it with the Neurons setup? It depends on, it's still a long journey because the Neurons was newly acquired into Dynamics. But I still think I would prefer our customers think that customer service admin center is the one center admin center for both Dynamics 365 customer service and DCCP.
Yes, excellent. What advancements have you made in the area of user management? You mentioned routing before, and we've got a whole thing around, skill-based routing, that the call, whatever it is, if it's been handed off from a chatbot, for example, that it gets to the right agent, right? The right person is handling it. What have you improved around that user management side of things?
Okay, that's a great question. So for user management, actually, our team, I'm not the PM work directly on this feature. Our PM Karthik in IDC is working on that feature. We did a lot of enhancement about user management, especially on the customer service part. I will just show you a few of them. So one enhancement we did, you can do book management of the users to be able to, assign the agents the skills and doing capacity profile management. And one thing I want to highlight that not only the book management of user management, for security management, although it's not done by our team, it's done by our Power Platform team.
Yes.
So that's have been a huge investment there to modernize about the security role management
Yes.
in the Power Platform Admin Center. So that is what I mentioned earlier. There are different persona, right? For user management is usually would be tenant admin, system admin who are doing those kind of management. For specific customer service domain, like the capacity profile, skills, all the routing, queues, relative setup, is all within this customer service admin center. But we do have the linkage to the Power Platform Admin Center for a tenant admin to be able to do security role management and adding or delete users there.
Yeah, totally makes sense. When you look at your plans for the future, what and without saying anything that's under NDA, what excites you?
So are you more talking about the roadmap and the vision for the?
So I'm thinking more about, we're seeing AI being incorporated a lot into the agent's experience. So whether it's like transcribing the call, taking out key, you agreed that I was going to send you an email, or I was going to set a meeting or an appointment with you, or something like that. Are we going to see, from your perspective, do you see that the agent's role is going to become a lot easier, if you like, because rather than, searching across multiple knowledge sets or systems, they're going to have really a guided, prompted experience, part of that agent scripting, etc., that will create a much better customer experience at the end of the day.
Absolutely. We just released a feature preview, right, called Agent Copilot.
Yes.
And the whole, Dynamics 365 Power Platform, we have the Copilot release. The whole key goal is to improve the productivity. So they can get the right information, right answers, or the next best action to, improve the agent productivity. There do have a lot of customers. I'm not the PM work dedicated for this feature, but I know there's a lot of customers that see huge value in this agent copilot feature. I do suggest for the customer, who are interested, please explore that feature. That's super valuable. I think it's super valuable to the business.
Yeah, very good. Before we close, where can people go and learn more about this new functionality coming out? Where can they upskill, get educated on these new admin features that are becoming available?
Yeah, so I would suggest to go to docs.microsoft.com, and also, our release planner, our release notes. So it have the release notes for this coming release wave, the October release wave, or called Wave 2 2023. You can see all of the new features coming out. For example, for admin side, we have a feature called integrated health check, which admin will getting proactively notified of emerging issue of the, for their configuration errors or something going wrong in their systems. So you can see a lot of this kind of features are in our release announcement. And definitely, if you want to learn more about our product, the docs.microsoft.com is a very good tool. Some of features, we do have a lot of YouTube videos available for you to explore more about that.
Tina, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mark.
Hey, thanks for listening. I'm your host, Business Application MVP, Mark Smith, otherwise known as the NZ365 Guy. If there's a guest you'd like to see on the show from Microsoft, please message me on LinkedIn. If you want to be a supporter of the show, please check out buymeacoffee.com/NZ365 Guy. How will you create on the Power Platform today? Ciao.